Alright. Welcome to the sideboard. My name's Eric, and let's play some MTG. So today we've got Grixis Midrange. Now, this was a deck that top 16 in GP Atlanta, I believe it was, and we're going to be running it today. So let's take a look at the list here. So starting off with a land base, as always, we've got 4 Aether Hubs because it's just one of the best ways to create 3 different colors of mana or more. 3 Canyon Slough, 4 Dragon Skull Summits, 4 Drowned Catacombs, 3 Fetid Pool, 1 Island, 2 Mountains, 4 Spire Bluff Canals, and a Swamp. So, really expensive mana base. I don't know the exact price of this mana base, but it is quite expensive. Give me one moment. I think the music's a little too loud. Tried to make some adjustments to the music. Some people said they couldn't hear it, so let's try that. Let me know if the volume's a little bit too much. Brian, welcome to the sideboard. I seen the deck and I was like, oh my gosh, I have got to play some Grixis aggro here, or Grixis Midrange. So let's take a look at the spells here. We've got Fatal Push as the 1 mana kill spell that, just pretty much a staple here in Standard. Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Now, this is starting to look like an energy deck. 4 Aether Hubs, Glint Sleeve Siphoner. We get down into the kill spells. We've got Harness Lightning, Abrade, and then, just one of those necessary things in any of the blue-black mid-range decks. Gifted Aetherborn, you have to be able to stop those Hydras and things of that nature. And then we've got 3 Whirler of Virtuosos because they're going to, throw out all of those bodies. Another great way to spend the energy that we gain other than drawing cards, which, if we're ahead, drawing cards is the way to go. If we need to create blockers, creating blockers is, or if we're behind, creating blockers might be the better way to spend our energy. We have 2 copies of Doomfall. I thought it was very interesting to see that Sergio was running Doomfall in his list, but it makes sense. The card's really good. And normally you have other things you're wanting to do early game, so using turn 3 to remove an extremely potent turn 4 is even good when you're on the draw. So couple Champion of Wits to pitch in the graveyard, help fill your hand up late game. Just great card to help you get to the answers you need. And then 2 Hostage Taker, which I was really happy to see in this, so kind of give me the Sultai energy feel. And then 2 Chandras, main board. So I mean, of course, this deck has definitely got some kill available to it. Vraska's Contempt, Vizier of Many Faces. So I mean, it's really a Grixis Answers deck. But up on the 5 mana, we've got 4 copies of Glorybringer and a singleton copy of the Scarab God. So our ability to just get way ahead is awesome. So 4 Glorybringers, I was really happy to see this in the list. And it does play a lot like Tamer Energy, but it can also have those runs where it plays like, kind of like the steel creatures kind of thing with the Hostage Takers, and you'll hit the Scarab God right into the Hostage Taker. So kind of like 4-color energy, I guess. Only they dropped the green so that they could smooth out the double red, double black, and it makes sense here. So let's take a look at the sideboard. We've got 4 copies of Duress and 2 Chandra's Defeat. I really like the 1 mana cards here in the sideboard. Keeping the curve extremely low and things of that nature is just phenomenal. I really like what he did with the sideboard here. And then we've got 2 Negates and an Abrade in case he needs a second copy of Abrade against those artifact decks and things of that nature. Or even if we just need another little cheap removal, we could bring in Abrade. Supreme Will for mid to early to mid game, answer all. Late game, you're not going to answer just about everything, but especially if they make a second play or a big power play, you could still answer that. And then, of course, if you always needed to, you can just go dig for the proper answer. And then 1 copy of Gonti. I like a singleton copy of Gonti, or sometimes even 2 in almost all of my Scarab God decks. If you looked at, I think it was Christian, or I forget his first name, but it was Larson, who ran a 4-color energy deck this last weekend, and he had 3 copies of Gonti in his main board. So Gonti, really good card, and starting to show up a lot more here in the more solved standard. Another copy of Vizier of Many Faces, and again, we'll revert back to Yuya Watanabe's list in Shanghai, where he had 4 copies of Vizier of Many Faces. So, a lot of the pros think that this is an extremely good card in a lot of matchups. So, I can see the second copy here. I am a little bit worried about the land base, but with actually cutting the 3rd color, maybe hitting some of these double-colored spells would be a little bit more feasible. And then we do have a River's Rebuke and a Never Return. Oh, let's move that over just a little bit here. Sorry, you guys can't see that. How's that? There we go. Never Return. Now, again, this is just a little bit of graveyard hate, which we don't have much graveyard hate, but to be able to, pick out maybe 1 key card could be useful. But just a good answer to destroy target creature or planeswalker is also useful. And then, yes, we are playing Grixis, and there is a copy of Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh in the sideboard. Really looking forward to being able to bring this card in, and I'm pretty sure we need to bring it in against control matchups, but I think any game that I'm going to go long in, the 1 copy of Nicol Bolas just sounds really good. So that's the deck, and let's get into some games. And we'll find the cues. Alright. So we lost the die roll, so he'll be able to choose whether or not to go first. Let me clean up the screen a little bit. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so we've got a Doomfall. So we're going to start out like a control hand, I guess? Or like a control deck? Not a lot of early answers here. If we're up against something like Teamer, we could be in a little bit of trouble, but I do like Chandra, and we do have some really good answers here. Let's keep this. And that's red deck. Well, bad decision. So we are going to be cycling this on turn 2. There's a Whirler for 3. That's actually pretty good for us. I think I want to go ahead and get down the Dragon Skull Summit, or I could go ahead and play the Canyon Slough, which would allow Dragon Skull Summit to come in untapped next turn in case we pull a Fatal Push or one of our many 2-mana kill spells. I mean, we could always have the untapped mana here, but we really cycling on 2 might be a thing if we don't have a kill spell next turn. Yeah, we're gonna go for cycling on 2. We don't have a turn 2 right now. At least that will give us something to do with our mana. Hopefully get us to where we need to be. We're gonna have the mana necessary to play Whirler either way. And okay. not starting out as horribly as I thought it would. So we can conceal these for a moment. We'll go ahead and get down the mountain. And we'll pass the turn. It does seem like a very, very flexible deck. When we played the 4-color Teamer deck on Dev's deck, it was also a very flexible deck, but one of the problems we ran into... Now, granted, we only ran 3 games. Any time that I'm playing, we're only seeing a vacuum, you know, but the mana base was just really clunky, and I'm hoping that this will give us the same thing we were looking for in that deck, however, not have that clunky mana base. I better cycle this before I forget. Sorry. Champion of Wits. Okay. He's got a Scavenger Grounds. Okay, Spire Bluff Canal. That's really good for us because we can just... He's got all that mana open. He's going to play... He's going to kill whatever we play. If we play Whirler without the ability to make a dude... I know we're playing Spire Bluff. So, if we play Whirler without the ability to make a dude, he kills it. We can't make a dude. We end up with 3 energy we can't spend. What do you say we look for some answers? Or we could Doomfall, and next turn, Vraska's Contempt. Or would we rather Doomfall his hand and just deal with these pesky little Soulscar mages? I like that. Okay, let's see what we're up against. Fatal Push, Lightning Strike. Alright, so we definitely take Lightning Strike and pass the turn. That's okay for us, I guess. He's got a Ramunap Ruins, he played that, so he's got 1 card we don't know of. And we get a Fatal Push. Okay. I kind of like where this is going. He doesn't have black mana to cast his Fatal Push. Ooh, wait. Sorry, I almost tapped the wrong mana there. Would have been bad. We want to leave up our Fatal Push here. And then we're just going to pass the turn back to our opponent. So this Grixis deck seems really, really sweet so far. It seems to have, you know, all the right answers for the meta. Like, when I was looking at the deck and studying for the deck, and I wanted it to be the first deck we ran on this Grixis weekend I wanted to do. I want to revisit Grixis Dagger Burn, as I think that deck is really, really good, and we didn't get a great showing of it on stream, and I just really would like to take a better chance at it. Or another stab at it, I guess. Listen to me using all these keywords. Demonetized. Let's go ahead and kill one of these. And I'm kind of interested in getting Chandra up. I'm not worried about taking this 2 here. I would like to have more protection for Chandra later. Do we need to keep up an additional mana? Or is this the turn that we Champion of Wits? I think it is. So we'll draw 2 here, and then we'll discard 2. Well, discarding Champion of Wits is more than likely the right answer. So we'll get rid of it and the Spire Bluff Canal. Then we can play this Aether Hub. We'll get an additional energy. And we drew, you know, the perfect way to just use all of our mana right there. So that's pretty good for us. And I'm okay with crashing in here for 1. We're going to start getting much more aggressive. And there's a hazard. Okay. He's still got the Fatal Push. I shouldn't have cleared that. So I'm going to trade Champion of Wits here. And we can still use Glint Sleeve Siphoner to draw a card and have enough to cast Vraska's Contempt. So we'll do that. There's a Glory Bringer and a Vizier of Many Faces. Oh, so many good things here. I mean, we could... Oh, we're going to be able to play Glory Bringer, copy Glory Bringer. I think for now we just go ahead and get in for 2. Or, you know what, we'll get in for 3 here. No point in being coy. Actually, yeah, there is. He discards cards to burn us. I think we'll go ahead and do it now. Okay, so he abrades our guy. We wasn't able to draw a card there anyway. And we gain 2 life. Oh wow, now we have Hostage Taker. So I definitely think it is time for Chandra to show up. And we're going to... There's a Glory Bringer. Well, we can't play that. Do we play around Hazoret off the top? I think we will. It's 1 point of damage. If we wrestle control of the game, it's not going to matter. We're at a healthy life total, and we've got some really bad boys here. Karizev, that's good for us. Like to have a Karizev. So we're going to plus Chandra to produce... No, we don't worry about Karisev. We Glorybringer every turn for the next few turns. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Just Glorybringers. We will keep up the Thopter for a blocker, though. Does he have an answer for Glorybringer? Scavenger Grounds. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and kill this Karizev. And that's going to be the only attack. I'm gonna leave the Thopter back to protect Chandra. We're just going to try to close this game out against Red Deck. Just win the game. If near Deadlands, okay. So he has a black source, he can kill the Thopter. Yehini. Okay. Coming at Chandra. We'll block. So this is red-black aggro. And we get a Harness Lightning. Create blue here. And we will copy the Glorybringer. And he scoops it up. Alright, so we'll take it into game 2. Sorry, I didn't really address your comment earlier, Thunder Weasel. I also have been enjoying going to the dark side of energy. However, I believe it's something we were pretty much forced to do. There's very few decks or strategies that put up really good fights against decks that have an entire additional resource. So, you know, it's definitely rough. So this red-black aggro deck, we definitely seen some red creatures that killing would be nice. Don't think we need a Brave, do we? So Bolus is just way too slow. Doomfall's great, Vraska's Contempt is great. Really wish there was a Torrential Gearhulk. I wonder how much Sergio played around with this deck and decided not to put Torrential Gearhulk in it. Seems like bouncing things with haste, that's just way too slow. Champion of Wits feels slow, but I also know if we get it, it'll be great. Glint Sleeve Siphoner seems dangerous, but we get to choose. Man, the deck seems just decent already. Maybe Chandra's too weak, even though she was good there. I don't know. If they go into their Chandra, like their top end, let's drop one Champion of Wits. I just feel that Champion might be a little slow in the matchup. Right? There's a lot of these cycling lands. We will not be keeping this hand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Going to 5. Not great, but we'll keep it. At least we have plays. We're going to 5, but we can play everything in our hand. Can't complain when you're... Glorybringer... Man, if we get there, that would be nice, but think that's too much of a long shot for right now. At least our turn 2's coming in untapped. It does seem like there's just very few dead-end draws here. Okay, so we play our Canyon Slough and pass the turn. At least we're top decking lands, we're getting some lands. I mean, even our turn 3, we could play 2 spells with a Chandra's Defeat and a Glint Sleeve. If we... Okay, there's an Earthshaker. Not exactly what I want to kill with this, but I wouldn't mind killing it with a Harness Lightning and storing the 2 energy. There's a Fatal Push. That's a good target for a Fatal Push. Do we put up... Do we put up Glint Sleeve Siphoner right now? Or do we just play the Canyon Slough and deal with one of whatever he plays next turn? I mean, we can Fatal Push or Chandra's Defeat. Of course, if it's Yahenni, we'll be wanting to Harness Lightning. Although Harness Lightning wouldn't do us much good, considering Yahenni would just do it. Let's play the Canyon Slough, and we'll make sure that next turn that we can play one of our 2-drops and one of our 1-drops. We'll play one of the 1-drops now. I think that's the best route here and the best usage of our mana. And cycling that really wasn't an option right there. Not when we this behind on land. Okay. So Bomat Courier. I don't even want to give him the option to discard his hand and get other cards. So we're just gonna stop that right there. I'll take 1 additional point of damage over that Bomat Courier. And that turned out pretty good for us. So we'll Glint Sleeve. And now we can either Fatal Push this Kendra. Alright, so this gets shocked. Magma Spray. Well, that's unfortunate, but he only has 1 card left in hand. We just gotta hope that he doesn't top deck and that 1 card is Hazard. Rampaging Ferocidon. Okay, so that doesn't have haste. So we're going to Fatal Push the Earthshaker now, and then we can just Chandra's Defeat the Rampaging Ferocidon next turn. Spire Bluff Canal. Okay. Do these decks run that card that lets them come back from the grave? Is there any argument to just shooting this now with the Chandra's Defeat? I think we're going to be okay. Maybe I shouldn't have let him attack just in case he has that Orc, but I think only the mono black deck runs the Orc that can draw cards. Rune Raider. Okay, hey, we're hitting our lands. We still have kill spells. We're still in this. We're hitting lands. Alright, well, we're stalling out. And he's hitting lands as well. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can bring back a Champion of Wits. 9 is really the magic number where we can kind of just stop. The reason for 9 is 9 you can top deck, play a Scarab God and activate it all in the same turn. So 9 is probably where we'll start holding lands for discarding to Champion of Wits and things like that. At least that's in my experience when the Scarab God decks. That's kind of your magic number. I mean, granted, you could go for 12 for 3 activations, but I mean, you play Scarab God, you activate him in that turn. That'll spiral out of control. Well, pray no hazard, and that he's just sacking lands at us. What is this? Earthshaker camera. Well, that's our harness lightning target, considering it's black, and there went our 1 energy. Thank you, Glint Sleeve Siphoner. The hidden things that card does for you. And we get a little something, but I assume he is carrying plenty of burn. Fatal Push. Okay, so we're at a little bit of a dilemma. If we kill it, it's 4 damage next turn. But we could stop 2 damage now. If we leave it alive, it's still only 2 damage next turn. So yeah, that works. I think we just plus Chandra, exile the top card. Dragon Skull Summon. Okay. We'll wait till he's already in combat before we try to kill something. I assume if he's got burn, we'll see that here. And that'll probably be redirected to Chandra. It was. Okay. Well, that, depending on how he swings here, that's gonna put me on him having. Oh wow! So there's another point to redirect to her. Putting on him, I'd put him on having a magma spray in hand right now. Something of that nature, something small for a kill spell. Okay, so we will shoot the Earthshaker here to save Chandra. Okay, so he had a lightning strike. Alright, I kind of expected him to have some type of burn, but I actually thought it could not go to the dome. We're top decking now. And he's in a much better position. This is his only Earthshaker Kenra though, so we really need to find an answer for it. Oh wow, he just sacked Raminat Ruins. Okay. I'm going to hold this land. We really need some answers. There's a hazard. Vraska's Contempt off the top would be really, really good. That is fair. And we will pass the turn. definitely in a little bit of trouble here. He doesn't have enough mana to discard to hazard it and bring back the Earthshaker Kenra. But bringing back the Earthshaker will mean that we will take 4 here. That'll put us at 2, which is rounding out Ruin's range. So this is pretty much wrapped up. We would definitely at that point need to make a top deck of Vraska's Contempt to even still be anywhere in contention to live through this game. Okay. And that's not going to do it. So let's get into game 3. The Wall, welcome. Yes, it is a little bit of a late night stream, but I wanted to get out this Grixis deck, man. It's just been so much fun. Right, like it's like, hey, Ixalan's binding, you're done. I've been having a lot of fun with that red-white approach deck, and I've played with it a lot since I originally covered Adam's list that he took to U.S. Nationals. I think we're sideboarded the way we should be here. I can see bringing in Never. Yeah, bringing in Never seems good, and I also like really like the Vizier of Many Faces, and it may be Chandra that we should take out. Never being able to eat a Kenra out of the graveyard seems like that'd be really good in the late game. And so far we've been able to take this little deck to the late game a few times. So Chandra's so good in the late game though. Hostage Taker? He's got a bunch of cheap creatures. We take him, but he's got Fatal Push, and let's take out the Hostage Takers. Let's run like that. Another good card, you're talking about Ixalan's Binding, that that is kind of being, I wouldn't say overlooked, but because some people play it, but it's Gideon's Intervention. That card can actually come down after the fact and deal with things. So we're just one land away from Champion of Wits or Whirler of Virtuoso. We kind of have to take Vraska's Contempt off the table for a minute, but we do have Champion of Wits, and we have Early Keel. I'm going to keep it. And here we go. And the opponent kept their hand. They kept 7, so that's fairly decent for us in a Hazoret deck. It means that their chances of being done with their curve by turn 4 is not as likely, so that means that our Vraska's Contempt might actually happen. They may not get the Hazoret out and be able to swing with it. Ooh, the hand's getting quite large here. I would be willing to dump a Glorybringer. Soulscar Mage. I don't think that is quite worth. Oh, come on, land. Come on, land. Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Okay, so we're definitely in trouble, guys. That is not what we wanted to see. Harsh Mentor. Well, I think Harsh Mentor is our Chandra's Defeat target here. Although, yeah, we're not taking 2 every time we activate Whirler, so we'll just go ahead and take this. and we'll kill the Harsh Mentor. All right. Do we just get down Whirler? If we get down Whirler this turn, it pretty much guarantees that next turn we're going to have to play Champion of Wits. So I think we do it. We do play Whirler though. Will give us some blockers. It'll mean that he has to burn this. I expect he has some type of burn here. If he's on Fatal Push though, then this is not a really good, Fatal Push target. Not until he can activate Revolt. Which if he swings, I'll definitely give him the opportunity to activate Revolt. Scavenger Grounds, okay. Yes, Jeskai Approach is a thing. Well, what do you mean it's a thing? Do you mean Guillermo Matinon's list? Or do you mean, like, are there other people playing Jeskai Approach? Because Guillermo Matinon's list was a slide deck. Like, he was playing... Slide's the wrong word for it. He was bluffing. He was playing cards. And Guillermo Matinon, oh my gosh, I did not make a Thopter. I am so sorry. Well, we're going to take a ridiculous amount here. But Guillermo Matinon's list ran no Fumigates in the main board. And everyone was playing around Fumigate. And, even the other pros, that when they got into the top 8 and the deck list were revealed, everyone was just like, oh my god, there are no Fumigates. So, okay, we will play this, and then we're going to play Champion of Wits. We need an untapped land, or even a tapped land, because we're more than likely going to play Vraska's Contempt next turn. Aether Hub is good. I mean, this is fine too. But Aether Hub will give us another energy. Do we need it? Are we going to Glint Sleep? Do we have time for Glint Sleep Siphoner? Or is it just going to be Glorybringer, the rest of the way home? I think I'm done drawing cards. So we pass turn and pray to live through one more turn. If he has Land, Hazard, Top Decks, Magma Spray, we're dead. Alright. Show me the hazard. It's not a hazard. Ribbons. And that's gonna do it. No, it's not, is it? It's not it. It's not enough. It does not kill us. Well, we'll see what he has in hand. We're dead to a lot here. Including Ramyanop. So we lost this game because I didn't make a doctor. That's why we lost this game. So major punt for me. We would have easily stabilized here based on what I'm seeing if we hadn't have taken that major hit. So, I mean, what would that have been? An extra 2 points? We would have been able to untap here. We kill this. Or even play the... Yeah. Okay, well, that was game 1. We're going to get back in here to game 2. Or match 2. Well, we lost the dice roll again. Champion of Wits on 3 to dump some of these lands. We can pick exactly how we want our lands to come in. I'm okay with this hand. Play it like control. Well, you were talking about the blue, white, and Esper variant earlier. The Esper version is kind of just taken over the blue, white. I think we want to fetid pool here. Let's do that, and then we can. That'll just guarantee that our lands here come in untapped. However, we may actually just get rid of the Spire Bluff Canal. Okay, so there's a Walking Ballista, Aether Hub, Swamp. Play Spire Bluff Canal? I mean, this can come in untapped anytime from here on. I think we just passed the turn. I mean, there's an argument to if this is a green-black list to killing the Walking Ballista before he has the chance to. Hi, Malcolm. I think I'm saying that right. I never can read your name, but welcome to the stream. The deck is Grixis Midrange, and then so far it's running fairly well. We did lose match 1 to red-black aggro. And looks like we're against an energy variant here. Probably Sultai energy by the looks of it. So we'll just end this at 1 damage to us. Before that gets out of hand. Now, here we, man, I'm liking the fact that we're gonna get some major value out of just discarding the lands we don't want. This gives us double black. I have no use for this Spire Bluff anymore because I'm valuing the energy off of the Aether Hubs here as cards in the late game. I think I want to play a Whirler and test out his, we'll play this because that gives us the most, like, double everything. So now our land's perfect. And then I'm actually just, we're going to play the Champion of Wits. We're going to get a little bit farther into our deck a little bit quicker so that we can make more informed decisions. That's exactly what we would like to see. So we have perfect land here, so these colorless sources should be no problem for us. And then we'll just pass the turn. If he's on Fatal Push, he'll have to create Revolt some way, or we'll just trade for this in combat. Our 2-1 for his 3-2. What is this? Hostage Taker? Yehini. Undying Partisan. Okay. does not swing with Yahini, so we will opt to kill Yahini. And we can cycle that. So this looks like a really good turn to Glint Sleeve, leave open the ability to cycle, or do we want to test his blossoming defense right now? Max. Alright, I'll just call you Max for now. Alright, we'll see if he has a kill spell. And then we'll pass the turn. I definitely think that, you know, making the most use out of our mana, and that's normally the way I try to play unless there's just a real reason not to. Okay, so he went shields down, we're gonna burn it. And next turn we should be able to Whirler and we'll go from there. He attunes, he'll go get a forest. Or at least I would. I don't know what he has in hand, but I would want to quit spending energy on that. There's the forest. Is this going to be a walking ballista? No? Hydra. Okay. Well, Hydra's not exactly what we would like to see, but we do get to play Aether Hub, which will give us a third energy, which is perfect for playing Whirlers, so this kind of worked out perfect for us. I planned that the whole time, guys. And then we can even cycle here. And I'll definitely do my best to not mess up making these. If he goes to kill this, we'll cycle first. Do we just take 4? I think we'll make 1. We could have made 2 there and just outright blocked him, but I'm not really in the market for that yet. Okay, so we'll cycle this. Champion of Wits, okay. That's pretty good. If we play Champion of Wits right now, we pretty much have to discard. Well, we might not. There are Doomfalls in this deck. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we can discard Fatal Push. And I'm going to discard Harness Lightning and just throw down the Gifted Aetherborn. And we're going to swing for 2. We're winning, fellas, so far. 1918. Might not last for long, though, especially now that he can trigger twice. There was an argument to allowing him to swing in and us trying to do some type of trickery to get him to, you know, spend his energy in blocks so that we could, you know, kill in response. That attune would have blew that play out of the water. So this is much better for us right here. We're just going to go the attrition route. What have I done? What have I done? Pass the turn at this point, and here's where we're going to start making Thopters and just getting over in the air. Slow, drawn-out game. We'll start kind of going from here with Champion of Wits and things of that nature as soon as we draw an additional land. Okay, so we're going to make Thopters. We'll just play the land. We needed a land. If we would have cycled and untapped, we would have still been in the same boat. So all right, so we'll start swinging. Now, this turn, if he swings, I'm just going to throw the Champion of Wits in front of it. The good thing about these Sultai energy decks is the music's a little loud. Alright, let me adjust that just a hair here. Let me know if that's any better. Oh, by the way, I picked up some new music. Same place. OC Remix, but I don't know if any of you guys remember Earthworm Jim, but I liked Earthworm Jim when I was smaller, and I seen this song and thought I would have to pick it up. Well, there's a Harness Lightning. Okay. Well, we are 100% going to bring back our Champion of Wits here. And we will draw 2, discard 2. So we can discard this. And I think we can discard Gifted Aetherborn. Probably should have just discarded the Vizier, but I want to play Vizier and then start swinging with it. Yeah, so we're just going to keep getting in, though. I guess there's an argument to just swing with the team right here. We're definitely going for the race. So I kind of left back 2 points of damage. He'll have to make some choices here. Alright, so he made a choice and we'll go into game 2. I think that was a smart choice. Alright, River's Rebuke seems really good here. However, just killing our opponent seems really good too. I don't think we're going to need a Braid. Negate's okay. Supreme Will seems pretty decent. Doomfall, maybe. He's a Scarab God deck, so let's look into Vizier. He's a Scarab God deck, so maybe look into Supreme Will. How late game are we going, fellas? He has the chance to just come out with, you know, Snake, Rishkar. We're dead on like 5 or 6. Okay. What do we cut? A braid? No, we don't cut a braid, do we? Hostage taker seems like a liability, as he's going to have hostage takers. I think Gonti's the better one, but keep taking hostage taker out of this deck. Maybe that's what I should take out. Alright, so game 2 here. Game 2, match 2. Versus Sultai Energy. We cannot keep this. Yeah. I mean, that's his... We'll leave that on top. This is about as good as we're going to get. Is he going to attune? He's going to attune. This is also Earthworm Gem. I put the information box on the stream so you guys can see the music at any point. Okay, so we will play our Fetid Pools. Now our Dragon Skull Summits come in untapped. So next turn we can just Gifted Aetherborn, either put him on Fatal Push or put the brakes on, one or the other. Or we could just Dragon Skull Summit and, you know, Fatal Push his 2-drop. Depending on what his 2-drop is. So his 2-drop is going to be a Toon Fatal Push. We can't kill... Alright, so I'd rather him kill this than the Glint Sleeve. So let's see a Fatal Push. No Fatal Push. Wow. Okay. Things just got serious. So we're good on mana now. We have, you know, double red, double black, double blue. Power Bluff Canal was perfect there on our turn 3. He doesn't have any creatures out right now. I'm putting less value in Fatal Push. I'm putting value in this land and one more. Let's see what we get. Just more land, so I think we're going to be done with the blue and Fatal Push. And we'll go from here. I really like this Grixis Midrange deck and how it can kind of shift into a Grixis control, or it even has the opportunity to have some fairly mid-range-ish aggro lines. I mean, of course, Grixis Midrange should have a mid-range line, but... Alright, so he's got a Hydra. It's really good for him. So here we can Glint Sleeve Siphoner and cycle the Fetid Pool. I like it. Do we stay aggressive? Leave the Champion and Wits back to block. Is there any reason to? Questions. Alright. Staying aggressive. Not overly aggressive, but slightly. We're going to swing here for 2. We'll probably have to put the brakes on this guy here shortly, but if he wants to trade, I'm good with that. you can miss on Gonti. But in this matchup with the Blossoming defense, you can miss on the hostage takers too. But you're right, Vizier is much better. If you're just now seeing the Vizier, you are not live, sir. Okay, so this will definitely be what we decide to kill next turn. Is he gonna swing? He decided not to. Okay, so we'll cycle. Just another land. And we can't use that. You always copy Glorybringer. Glorybringer's pretty good to copy, you know. Yikes. At the land. Well, might as well get our split lands down. Let's see what happens. When we stay aggressive. I did not exert there. No, I did not. This will take him to 7, and we're at 26. So I don't know if that was the proper decision, but we'll find out. I mean, he's got 6 cards in hand. He scoops it up. He realized I was going for the kill and we weren't going to play a long game. And I think that's a lesson we should all learn from time to time, is you need to kill your opponent. So, you know, I'm horrible about it and have even been corrected in the comments and stuff. You know, quit playing around, quit trying to do, you know, cool stuff. Just kill your opponent. Alright, so we're going to jump back into game 3 here. Alright, match 3, we get a Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Looks like we'll have the lands to get to the Glorybringer. We've got early play. I'm going to keep the Fetid Pools this time to possibly cycle. We're going to start on the Aether Hub. No, we need a turn 2. We need turn 2 black. I have to play the Fetid Pools, but we're gonna keep this. Oh wow. Tell me this is not that red-black aggro deck. This deck is everywhere, guys. Red-black aggro, mono-black aggro. The format is full of it. The Champion of Wits. Oh, that is so good. Okay, so that's gonna let us ditch any unnecessary lands. If you've been watching a while in this stream, and you normally watch me, do you remember when we played the 4-color deck here? I think it was last week, and we were having so many problems with the land. I think almost every game by turn 3 or 4, I've been able to say, you know, we have almost perfect land here, and it's true, we have. Okay, so this is some type of, look at this, perfect land by turn 3. Bam. This deck, if nothing else, land base was built very, very well. Now, as much as I really want to get out this, and this does make me think that it's actually making me think we're on an amulet deck, some type of deck like that. I'm going to play the Spire Bluff here, but I am killing this Brawl. We are not going to watch that. And next turn we'll just play the Champion of Wits, but again, I think it's Angel of Death was his handle on Magic Online, but Sergio has a great land base here. Look at this. Double black, double red, double blue. Almost every game. It can't possibly be a storm deck. Possibility storm. Hateful Showdown Storm. I'm missing something, guys. Is there a deck that I don't know about? Let's Champion of Wits. Probably dump one of the Aether Hubs here, depending on what we draw. If we draw any other, ooh, reduce. Okay, well, if he spends his next turn casting Rubble, we'll play land, pass turn, play land, Glorybringer. We'll see how that goes anyway. What song is this? Oh, this is the Earthworm Jim one, yeah. I'm feeling this deck, guys. Really, like this deck is it's a lot of fun. Seems to be, anyway. So we might get our Glint Sleeve Siphoner down. Wonder if he wants to cast Fame on it. Chart, of course. I mean, he's got Negate, Essence Scatter at 1. That Brawl's got to go. He's got Disallow. Wow. He's got Reduce. Or Rubble, yeah. Okay, so he was still able to Rubble us. What is this little deck? Well, we play a land pass turn. Tons of draw, discard cards into Shadow of Grave, then Insult before Showdown to deal massive amounts of damage. Ouch. Yep, okay. It looks something like exactly like you just explained after seeing this Cathartic Reunion here. And he threw down a Fateful Showdown. Deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of cards in your hand. Discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards. Wow. So he gets to just draw everything he discarded this turn with the black card. The one they use in New Perspectives. What is it? Shadow of the Grave? There it is. Shadow of the Grave. Well, we got to see everything as it was going through. Yes, sir. You're getting in there. Well, I'm not hostage takering the thing. I'm gonna Glorybringer it, but after everything he just did, the chances of him having a claim to fame are pretty good. We'll exert. Well, we'll pass the turn after that and hit him for 4, and then next turn just another Glorybringer and see what happens. Reduce to Rubble is a card that I played with for a while, and I really like that card. Primal Amulet, okay. Looks like a hostage taker turn. Yeah, let's say hostage taker. Oh, that deck. I'm sorry, Nightbot is wrong. That tech is not for this deck. Hostage Taker takes the Primal Amulet, but Glorybringer just starts doing work. And if we cast Vizier to make the Glorybringer, oh, it's so confusing, guys. get rid of that amulet. I think that amulet is too big of a threat. Or did I not make black? May not even be able to target it. Alright. Okay, well, we'll roll with our hostage taker there. Hi, Crewfix. Welcome to the stream. Oh, wow, we've got a bunch of people in here right now. I guess it's a good time to say, if you're new to the channel, check out the content. We've got a lot of different content for you, and give us a subscribe if you think that our content is right for you. And if anyone likes the music, you can find all the music. It is usable on your YouTube pages as well. You can find it right here on YouTube, OC Remix. I think their stuff is amazing. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely time that we start killing stuff here. Aw, is he gonna kill our Glorybringer? What does he got for 3 mana? Cathartic Reunion, okay. 2 mana. And he threw down a Primal Amulet and a Mountain. Hollowed one. So, do we just kill both of those this turn? I'm just worried, does this deck run any... We have a Champion of Wits, don't we? Oh, we're a turn off of Champion of Wits, but we're gonna start getting in there. We're gonna copy this fella. We're gonna play this thing. And then we're going to exert both of these and kill both of those. And we'll do the first one on Hollowed One, the second one on Baral, and we'll pass the turn. Now, next turn, of course, we're going to be drawing a card off the Glint Sleeve Siphoner if it survives. Man, that music does seem a little loud, doesn't it? Turn that down. Another Baral. Of course another Baral. I mean, killing Vizier is just awesome for us here. Killing our Glorybringer. We play another one. Oh, he didn't actually play the deck? How did you like it when you played it? It looks interesting. I just, well, you got that up there for a minute, didn't you? Okay, so our opponent just doesn't want to pass priority here. I guess he's thinking, I mean, he will get to flip his amulet if he has anything at all to play. However, if he just pass his turn back to us, we're going to probably Glorybringer here. Alright, so there's a Rubble. He's gonna keep us tapped down, so we won't do a Glorybringer this next turn, but we can play Gifted Aetherborn, kind of go from there. I assume he's going to try to hit us for a lot with like some... Well, apparently he's supposed to go through a whole bunch of things. Faithful Showdown multiple times. He's a little low on cards and we're a little high on life. It is interesting. I managed to kill an opponent with 60-something damage. Only problem is you can't find the combo pieces quick enough or can't stave off an onslaught of creatures. You just die. Okay, so in game 2 and 3, I need to come out with as aggro as possible. No, I did horribly with it. It's one of those decks that when it works really well, but it folds majority of the time. Okay, so it's kind of like an against the odds deck. It's like, this is probably not going to work, but it'll be fun. That's like, I don't know, 50% of most content creators. Like Dev, he knows a lot of those decks are not, you know, extremely competitive, but they're fun and there's some ideas. Like the blue-white Saram deck, that deck, it fired off almost every time. It's just, it wasn't strong enough. So a lot of fun. He finally decided what he was going to do, I assume. And we'll draw a card. Whirler Virtuoso. That's not bad. Also Vraska's Contempt. So let's play the Whirler. Well, we're not going to swing. And he gets his turn. He gets to do anything and everything he wants right here. We could make a Thopter, but other than that, if he passes turn, he's more than likely dead. He's drawing. That's not good. Not for him. He won't be able to put up a fight. He only runs 8 creatures main board. Usually it's 4 Showdown, 4 Grave, 4 Insult, and Torment. So, okay, Tormenting Voice. Hollow 1 Beatdown. Yeah. So he does run Censor. I was curious if Censor was in the deck. It seemed like the minor cycling theme would be there. I think if he doesn't have some big top-end finisher here, like Cut to Ribbons, would that be the top-end finisher? I don't know. He's really thinking about it, though. Okay, so he's going to injury a Glorybringer and copy it to kill our Glorybringer. Okay. I think it's another hollowed one. If he taps out, it's over. I mean, it may be over now. will see momentarily. A shadow to the grave. Okay, well, he tapped out. So he can swing. Sure, we will take 4. Unless there is a spell or something I don't know about, we will even draw a card. And we'll go ahead and move to combat. And he scoops it up. We'll go into game 2. So far, guys, the deck looks really, really good, and it feels strong. And if you're tired of playing Teamer Energy, you're tired of playing green for a little while, this may be where you want to go. I like the control feel of it and things like that. Granted, we're not done. We haven't won everything, but the power level of the deck just feels legitimate. It feels smooth. The land base is on point. Seems to be just the right amount of these cycling lands and things like that, but we'll save most of that for the wrap-up. What are we going to do here? I just love Vizier of Many Faces in this deck. It's Glorybringer's, 5 and 6. Hostage Taker seems like it's not really necessary, but in that last game we took an artifact, so I kind of like the Hostage Taker. I don't think we need Doomfall, but it might actually be really... Oh yeah, let's do this. Let's bring in the Duress. We haven't got to play any kind of control matchup. We'll bring in the Duress, we'll bring in the Negates. Nicol Bolas time. What can we drop? We're not going to Scarab God. We haven't Scarab God yet. We're not going to do it this turn. We don't need a bunch of blockers. And this is not part of... we just need to get to protect ourselves, get the Glorybringer, and win. Ooh, we probably should have just took out Harness Lightnings, right? I mean, he's going to be trying to do some early Hollow One shenanigans, though. Vraska's Contempt. I don't think we need Vraska's Contempt. I think we can cut that. And I'm going to cut 2 of these Harness Lightnings. I'm bringing our Whirlers back in, because Whirler is one of our few creatures. And we're going to roll like this. I like the Doomfalls, I like the Duress. We're going to try to be some type of control versus control. He's trying to, or combo out or something like that from what it looks like. And I would like to see how this deck plays in the control configuration. We haven't got a chance to see that yet. Now, granted, this might be the wrong matchup for that control configuration, but I'd still like to see how the deck plays out with it. All lands, Nicol Bolas, go. That's control. Actually, I mean, we can start cycling on 2. We can play one of the Fetid Pools on 1, so that everything comes in untapped. So we can go Fetid Pools, Spire Bluff Canal, start cycling. Or we just play Spire Bluff, Aether Hub, Dragon Skull, Spire Bluff, start cycling all of these. But that would be putting us on a real slow turn. I don't like the hand. We're not going to keep it, even though we could draw a lot. This looks fine. This looks fine. That looks pretty good too. Yeah, Duress would have been nice. I definitely brought it in. Maybe we'll get it. So we're just gonna go Fetid Pools, and we'll pass the turn. Our turn 2 will come in untapped. We should be fine there. Don't really want to get stuck on lands, but it might happen. Double red. Oh, wow. When decks are good, decks are just good, guys. So, I want to just get out this Glint Sleeve. We're going to try to get in early. I'm guessing he just didn't draw his Cathartic Reunions and things like that. Otherwise, we would have probably seen one there. Cycling a slew. That's, sounds like he got our 7. No, I did not build this deck. Oh, I wish I could take credit for it. It is so good. But the deck did it had a 5-0 finish in the competitive standard leagues that were posted, and then the very same weekend it went to a top 16. The exact 75 showed up, being played by Sergio. Man, I just can't think of his last name, but it was being played by a gentleman named Sergio, and he took the deck to a top 16 finish in GP Atlanta. And I seen it, and I said, okay, well, next time I start running Grixis decks, because I've been running a lot of Jun. I think the best use of our mana this turn is to attack, and we're going to pull something out of his hand. I think Shadow of the Grave is what we pull. He has no blue. At this point, he doesn't even have black. Tormenting Voice seems decent out of his hand. But the less Shadow to the Graves he has, the less likely he is to be able to pull off his combo. The Jund Energy deck? Well, I made a Jund Energy deck a while back, and that was a build of my own, and then I recently updated a Jund Gods list, and that's an energy deck. It's got energy, it's got vehicles, and it's got gods in it. So that deck's actually really interesting, and it's actually fairly competitive. It was an Amonkhet top 16 Pro Tour deck that had been updated. Patrick Dickman ran that list. Okay, Spire Bluff Canal, not exactly what we're looking for here, but we are going to continue to apply as much pressure as possible, so we'll go ahead and play the Spire Bluff. We'll throw down this, and we're going to just keep getting in. I mean, he's stuck on lands in a bad way. I mean, he just Tormenting Voice, pitching his Reduce to Rubble, and another Tormenting Voice, and pitching the Reduce to Rubble, and he still doesn't have his lands. That's bad. I hate to say it, but that is bad. We can't draw. We should be able to next turn. Alright, well, I'm just going to pass. If he gets a... I want to play the Vizier and just like copy Glint Sleeve or something like that, but I don't think I need to Glint Sleeves, and I don't think there's any real reason to, you know, overstep here. Oh wow, it come in tapped. Man, that's brutal. We will draw a card here. Glint Sleeve is just amazing at doing like exactly this. So next turn, I mean, even if he gets to play like Enigma Drake or something like that, we're going to be able to just Hostage Taker it. We're one card off of Nicol Bolas. I want to draw another card next turn, so we're going to go ahead and cast the Vizier. And I can leave up the Abrade. We're copying Glint Sleeve because it'll create an energy for us. We're just being greedy at this point. I mean, he's not playing Magic with us, so we just took the greedy road there. Well, guys, that was our 3 games. Let's go look at this deck and talk about it for just a moment. So, what do you guys think? I mean, most of you watched it. I had like quite a few people here. thanks for subscribing. I hope you check out the other content that we have, and make sure that this is the channel that you would like to watch. And if it is, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate each and every one of you, and we're going to start doing some fan things for everyone. But yeah, we'll check out the Facebook page. If you've got decks that you want played, I've got something in the works that if you guys want your decks played, I know that's one of the biggest things for a fan, because hey, I'm a fan. We want our decks played. I've got something in the works. I'm going to make some offers for y'all. May or may not like it, but it'll be there. Jeff, you hit it the nail on the head there, sir, for the proverbial. The deck ran terrific. I would make 0 changes to the land base, run those 26 lands. The land was supreme all 3 games, and for us to see 3 games in a row where the land was just perfect, that you can't ask for much more than that out of a land base. And I was really, really happy with the way the deck performed. The Glint Sleeve Siphoners, we know how good that card is, and when you have that in a control-ish shell, and this is not the control shell like blue-black control where we're countering everything. No, this is your destruction mage. You play it, I kill it, and I'm not really worried if you got an enter the battlefield trigger off of it. We had no problem really having the answers we needed for the given problem. We were able to dig through the deck with cards like Champion of Wits, which we did hit those long games. I think if you're going to play this deck, we do have those chances where we can be aggro, but most of the time you're just going to be that control deck, that mid-range deck that's going to take the games into the long game, where you're going to win with some of these extremely high value cards like Hostage Taker, Scarab God. I liked having Hostage Taker in here, and I also liked how easy it was for me to be able to take Hostage Taker out and put it into the sideboard. And because of that, I wouldn't remove Hostage Taker from the deck at all. Personally, I don't know if there's any change I would make to the deck. It's already proven itself. Top 16, 5-0 finish. I don't know what I would do about the deck as far as changing it. I think the deck is absolutely great. I'm glad I got a chance to showcase it for all of you guys here tonight. So, if you like the deck, you can find the link in the description box below. If you like the gameplay tonight, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see the replay, if you didn't get to catch the whole thing, it will be on the channel later. So, that's the gameplay for tonight, guys. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun. We'll see you next time here on the sideboard.